Hello there, how are you doing today? How's your week going? I hope you're not too stressed. I hope you're relaxed. As for me, I feel kind of chilled, laid back, relaxed. Okay, so I'm having a less stressful week. No drama, nothing. It's just cool and fun. Let me know how you're doing in the comment section. Please do not forget. And if you're stumbling on this podcast for the very first time, I welcome you. I welcome you to the Becoming You podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about the complexities of adulthood. Here we discuss every and anything that has to do with us as adults. So kindly like, share, and subscribe. This past week got me thinking about a lot of things, like about my personality, about me as a person. I've been asking myself a lot of questions like, who am I? Why am I who I am? Sometimes I wish I am the life of the party, that person that is always lit up. But my social battery actually runs out before I step into a party. Sometimes I wish I am that person that is very outspoken, who is not scared to say whatever she feels, whenever she feels it and however she feels it. But yeah, I'm not that person because I'm too bothered about what people might think or what people might say or how it might make people feel. Sometimes I wish I am that social butterfly with so many friends. I can't because the mere thought of having so many friends around makes me shiver. Like, I'm just so comfortable with my small circle and I feel safe with it. So if I am not all this, then who am I? Do I hate my personality? I'll say no, I do not hate my personality. I don't hate me for being me. Sometimes wish I was more extroverted, and I just sometimes wish I was more outspoken, more outgoing, and I just can't help but think about the what ifs. Low-key, I kind of sometimes feel like my life would have been much more easier or a bit easier if I was an extrovert, because it takes a lot of work for me to navigate this extrovert biased world. So today I'll be talking about the challenges of being an introvert in today's society. So what do I mean by today's society? So today's society is a technologically fast-paced, globalized, highly socialized world. Now let's dive into the conversation of the day. Right before we dive in, let's hear what these amazing people think of the adulthood phase.
Adulthood is responsibility.
Adulthood is complicated.
Adulthood is growth.
Adulthood is maturity.
Adulthood is being independent.
Adulthood is stressful.
Adulthood has been confronting.
Adulthood is draining.
Adulthood is decision making.
Adulthood is resilient.
Adulthood is overwhelming.
Adulthood is fun and adventurous.
Remember, I'm not here to demonize this phase, but to say it as it is. So firstly, before I move into talking about the challenges faced by introverts, I'll start by defining the three personality types: introverts, extroverts, and ambiverts. An extrovert is someone who is outgoing, outspoken, and someone who is not afraid of socializing. Then we have the second one, introverts. An introvert is that person that tends to keep to themselves, that person that speaks a little, they don't really like socializing or social gatherings. So an ambivert is a mixture of both. So which of these personality types perfectly describe your personality? Let me know in the comment section. Personally, I am an ambivert, but predominantly an introvert. So the three major things I struggle with as an introvert are: 1, building a social media presence; 2, being publicly outspoken; 3, networking. Building a social media presence does not come easy for me. It's a lot of work. I know you would be asking, like, why do you have to go through so much stress if you don't want to do it? We can see how people are leveraging social media right now. With social media, we see that we're able to achieve what would normally take people 10, 15, 20 years. In 5 years, in 2 years, we're able to achieve these things. Social media is a tool that we need to leverage, and I do not want to be left out. For instance, I have my podcasts. Normally, left to me, I would have loved to just come up every Saturday, upload a new episode of my podcast and go back into hiding. But no, I have to publicize my podcast. I have to talk about my podcast. I have to make my social media page active, so I can just get connected to my right audience, to the people that need to hear what I'm saying. Aside from this, social media is also very useful for like advocacy. A lot of things are happening, and we cannot be everywhere at every time. So like social media is just that place where you can just speak up against injustice, bad governance. Aside from this, there are a lot of opportunities online, on social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We have the opportunities there. So to an extent, you need to have like a presence. You have to be relatively active, to see these opportunities, to come across these opportunities, to go for them and to key into them. So can you see why I feel I cannot just discard the idea of having a social media presence? I have to have a social media presence. And the funny thing is, because I'm an ambivert, I actually have a relatively strong social media presence. I have accounts on all platforms, but they are majorly just to showcase what I do, to voice out my opinion and to just talk about me personally. But it's been hard keeping up because the algorithm of Instagram or other social media platforms would not let you move at your pace. Because for your content or for your page, to get to strangers or people you do not know, you have to be consistent. And consistency for these social media platforms means posting every day. More than posting every day, posting twice a day, posting thrice a day. I do not have the energy. Like, I am not made for it. Being online already is stressing me as it is. I feel like I'm not the only one going through this problem. I have a friend of she's an ambivert too, because sometimes she's outside, sometimes she's inside. I don't even know. But yeah, she has like this she's skeptical about being online. She really doesn't want to like be out there. But like, I have been encouraging her to just be online, and I'll just give. So right now I want to share some of the things I tell her, and also share how I'm able to have a relatively active or relatively stable social media presence. We constantly hear these things. You have to put yourself out there. We are from places where we have to fight for every opportunity we get. We're from places where we have to go hard for it, and one of the ways we have to go hard for it is by having social media presence. So yeah, one thing I would say is you have to start small and start at your own pace. Don't care about the likes or the comments. Right now I try not to think about the likes or the comments. So if they're coming in stable, fine. If I don't have the likes or the comments, fine. I see my social media platform as my public diary. I just make it all about myself, voicing out my opinion. You do not necessarily have to be everywhere or post every day or post twice a day if you do not want to be a social media content creator. You just want to use the platform. You just want to be visible on the platform. I just see it as my public diary. I post when I can. Currently, I post twice a week. It's not the best. I'm not getting the numbers like it would have been if I was posting every day or twice a day. But I do not feel overwhelmed. I do not feel like, oh, I am doing too much. I just feel like I'm moving at my own pace. It's slow, yeah, but it's steady. And I think to an extent, your consistency matters. I'm just trying to stay consistent, and I think that's like the most important thing. As an introvert, try to convince yourself to come online, and you do not have to be posting your pictures if you don't want to. It's all about leveraging it. Post your skills. Let's just try to put ourselves out there. We would not allow our personality type to stop us from getting what we ought to get, or stop us from getting to where we want to get to. So yeah, this is just me trying to remind us to just try to put ourselves out there. There's no manual to these things. There's no way in which they must be done. So let's just do it in a way that is comfortable for us, when you can, how you can, what you want. So your social media platforms are yours. Use them in the way you want to use them and how you want to use them. And if you're able to get all your opportunities offline, get things done offline, then You're very lucky. So another challenge I tend to face as an introvert or an ambivert that is predominantly an introvert is I have find it difficult to voice out my opinion or to be unapologetically outspoken. I would not say I'm a shy person. In fact, I don't think I am a shy person. However, I am reserved. Like, I am very, very, in fact, extremely reserved with new people. I tend to be more outspoken with my friends, my family. When it comes to public spaces and public gatherings and with new people, I tend to speak less. I become a woman of few words. I think it's also a problem that needs to be fixed. Sometimes I do not talk in public spaces because I just feel like it's stressful. The fear comes. However, I still just try to push myself to talk. It's not always easy to talk. I talk for two things. I talk because I feel my opinion counts and my opinion should be heard. And the second reason why I force myself to talk in public spaces is because I feel like there's just somebody that needs to hear my opinion, somebody that needs to engage with my opinion. So as introverts, how do we handle public speaking and talking in public spaces with plenty people? I know we don't like crowd. So yeah, I think one way I have tried to maneuver it is I try to just delete every other person when I want to talk. I just assume that I do not have so many people in front of me. Then I just stare at that one person that makes me feel comfortable. I don't know if it makes sense. So I'm talking and addressing a crowd, but there's just one person that is giving me the right body language as I'm speaking. Then I just focus on that person, exclude every other person, and just deliver what I have to say and move on. It has helped me to an extent. However, I'm still trying to work on my public speaking skills. It's something I feel like I would like to explore at some point in life, and I think probably it comes with time, experience, and practice. Let's see how that goes. If you're listening to me and you're not an introvert, I want to just tell you that do not make assumptions when you see people be reserved or quiet in public spaces. Do not make assumptions that they are shy people. Trust me, we're not shy people. We are not just comfortable yet. Do not make assumption that they're dumb or they're people that should be taken for granted because you do not want to see the other side of an introvert. So this is a public announcement. I would call myself an observer. Most times I'm just trying to observe. I'm just trying to understand my environment, my surrounding, to see what is actually going on, to see how then I could come in. My personality sometimes confuses me. One moment I'm starting up a conversation with a stranger. I'm trying to know who they are, where they're from, starting up conversations and sustaining conversations with people I don't know. I think this is it. One-on-one, in one-on-one conversations, I'm able to talk to strangers. I'm able to voice out my opinion. However, it takes me a while to get comfortable. Okay, so yeah, this moment I'm talking to strangers and I'm voicing out my opinions to them unapologetically in one-on-one conversations. The other minutes I'm running away and I just want to be left alone. So if you're meeting an introvert and they get comfortable with you, then you start seeing another side to them and you feel like this is not the person I met. Calm down, you're just seeing the real person. So yeah, do not make assumptions about us. It's challenging to be outside, to mix with people, to voice out our opinion at every given time. Another thing is networking. Networking is another skill that we really need to survive. Networking is another thing we have to do to increase our chances and opportunities. We just have to network. I really find it challenging to network as an introvert. So let me tell you a quick story. So there was this day, I and my friend, we got all dressed up. I was even the one that was giving my friend the ginger that we should go for this tech networking event. We got there. Immediately I got there, it was they turned down something in me. My battery just went from 100 to 0. And my friend that was persuading to go suddenly became the hyped one. And I was like, what's going on? I just felt I felt really out of place and I just wanted to go home. I don't know if I was just scared of the crowd. I don't know if I was feeling overwhelmed by the amount of people that were there. I really don't know what it was, but I wasn't really comfortable meeting people and talking to people. And it was a failed experiment. I really did not meet anybody from that outing. I feel for introverts here, probably networking events, going or attending networking events might not necessarily be the right way to network. Yeah, we should be more friendly and more pleasant, meet people in public spaces, and you just feel drawn to them, or you see something about them that you're curious about, start up conversations with them. I think that's what I do now, to just try to like expand my circle a little bit. I try to have conversations with people randomly. I just see people, then I try to have conversations with them. But going for an event that is tagged networking event, I'm not so sure it's a good idea for an introvert. So yeah, that's how I've been managing it. So my circle is still pretty small, because I'm not really going all out to meet people. Like, when it happens, it happens. I'm really not putting myself under any form of pressure. So that's how I've been trying to navigate my life as an ambivert. Let me know if you're an introvert or an ambivert like me that is predominantly an introvert. Let me know the challenges you faced and how you're trying to navigate them in the comment section. It's really not an easy one, but we just have to like make things work for us. I think too, you do not have to force yourself to be all out when you just want to give the sneak peek. Give the sneak peek, but do it diligently. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the next episode. Do not forget to live every moment and leave no room for regrets. Remember to follow this channel so you get notification whenever I drop a new episode. Thank you. Bye.